ready for tonight's latest installment of FT Learn. We are going to be exploring digital learners and digital directions. I'm hearing from a lot of people that kids just are not processing the directions that we write for our online assignments. And so tonight we're going to dive into some ways that we can make our directions a little more understandable for our digital natives. Heat mapping research shows that individuals who read and print typically read in a Z pattern. This is how we were taught to read. We start at the left, we go all the way over to the right, and then we come down to the left side of the page again, and so on. And today, what that research is also finding is that when reading on a device, people tend to read in what's considered an F pattern, meaning they read all the way over to the right of the screen, skim down a little bit, read over a little bit less, skim down, read over a little bit less, so that it takes the shape of an F. And so in looking at this research, it's important to consider this. At most, digital readers using an F pattern will only read about 28% of the words on a page. An average of 20% is more likely. So that means they may be missing 78% of the directions that you have written. But from talking to a lot of you, you probably already knew that. According to Ian Jukes in the book Reinventing Learning for the Always-On Generation, our digital learners prefer processing pictures, sounds, color, and video before text. So one of the things that you really want to try to do is include powerful examples of visual media that help to represent the elements of the lesson that you're trying to give. If you take a look at any of Mr. Bertasso's one-pagers that he's been putting out, he highlights all of that. And making it visual using color and clip art really helps students process what they're supposed to be learning. So I really do like using Google Slides for a lot of things, and writing directions is just one more thing you can do in Google Slides using their tools. So for the directions, I usually just start with a regular old slide, and then I go to Insert, Diagram, and you have all these choices that are highly visual. You have a timeline that you could insert. I used a relationship style for the example that I made. But if you click on these, there are multiple styles within those that help you to be more succinct in your directions. So for example, if I was going to include this, I could change these different circles and say, okay, on Monday, you have to do this. On Tuesday, you have to do something else. And so it's just really easy to customize that. And then you can go to File, Download as a JPEG, and you could insert those directions anywhere. Very easy for you to create more visual directions. In Schoology, I'm in Resources. If you go to Add Resource and then Add a Page, these are kind of boring, I will admit, but you can still do things like add bullets, change the color of your text, change the background color of your text, change the size, but the real power here would come from inserting content. So you could just go out to Giphy, find a GIF that you like, copy that embed code or copy the link, go back into Schoology, click Image and Media from this little Insert Content area from the web, paste. I usually choose media for GIFs or videos. Insert that media. It will look like nothing happened, but when you submit, then when you click to open the page, you'll see that that GIF is viewable. And the same is true for video. You can add video and just plain old images the same way, but just adding an image, adding a visual, adding a video to your directions is going to. The last thing you might want to consider when writing your directions is to go ahead and add a video clip of yourself giving the directions. I think there's a lot of power in the kids seeing you and hearing you. I will say keep your directions brief, no longer than a minute. I know I'm kind of breaking that rule right now. But adding in your video of you giving the directions and some very short bulleted written directions is really going to, I think, help students process what they need to do for you. and make it. So let's take a little lesson from TikTok and flip the switch on the way our directions look.
Look, I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. I don't know nobody else that's doing this. Look, I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. I don't know nobody else that's doing this.
Did you see what I did there? You might even think about using TikTok, which includes all of those crazy elements with pictures, images, sounds, video, to give your directions. Or it could at least be the hook in to diving deeper into the directions that you're giving. It's pretty easy to create a TikTok and the kids all get into it. Those are the big tips that I have for helping you communicate directions to a digital learner in a digital way. Good luck. If you have questions, feel free to ask one of the DLCs.